Good evening. I'd like to call the work session on Wednesday, July 5th, 2023 to order at 6 p.m. Agenda item number 2 is the ordinance number 2008, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of Laurel, Maryland to amend chapter 9, miscellaneous provisions and offenses to modify Article X, Article 10, disposable plastic bags to prohibit disposable plastic bags from being provided to customers in retail establishments at the point of sale and to provide for penalties for the violation of this ordinance. Ms. Michelle Blair, Environmental Program Manager, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. I prepared a clarification memo that I believe that you all received, as well as I think information from the Sierra Club. I'm here if you need any further clarification or have any other questions.
Well, I have one comment. I spoke to my colleagues on the council, and there seems to be discourse of moving forward with this and with the exemptions, and I know they like some, so to meet in the middle, we're looking to have a grace period of 1 year for those on the state programs, the WIC and SNAP programs, and we'd be in favor of that being amended in the code, or amended in the bill. Any comments on that from the council colleagues?
What do you actually want again, Mr. President? I didn't understand exactly what 1 year meant.
So just 1 year for those that are on WIC. I know Councilmember Mitchell, Councilmember Sidnor, who I also spoke to, who's not here tonight. And they're primarily looking for, they wanted exemptions, period. And I knew, half of us were for, half not. To move forward, I would look for a grace period for those that are on WIC and those on assistance for 1 year to be exempt, for us to move this forward. And then, of course, during that time, we educate and supply them with the bags the same way we wanted to, basically tomorrow passing this. But they just would have 1 year of those on, again, WIC and whatever assistance would have that time to just be educated on it and just have a grace period of being aware, that this is coming and that it will take place.
I have one question. How are you gonna prepare the food stores that they are going to be exempt for 1 year?
That's something we have to look into. Again, this is to meet in the middle. I know that my colleague Sidnor, Councilman Sidnor, I won't speak for anyone, but I can speak in his absence. He told me to speak up for him tonight. And Councilman Mitchell is here tonight to speak for himself, that they were totally against them not being exempt at all. And to meet in the middle, again, to move this forward, we can come up with that. But again, a grace period for those that have those needs, that are on those needs, at the cost burden of them, for us to supply those bags and educate them during that period of a year. And within that year, they know it's coming, and hopefully they're educated over time. And our city's but so big. We're not a county. We're a small city, 4 square miles. And I think it's something doable, and it's a way for us to move forward together without dragging this on a bit further. Yeah.
Here's my comments. This
Sure.
is, by doing that, you're going to be dragging it on for another year. This has been going on for well over a year that I'm aware of, as far as the places that I shop at and the food stores. And I'm an avid food store shopper. And they have been handing out free bags, free usable bags, and the whole process of teaching people and getting into their mind that when you go to the store, not only do you have me personally, I have my list of things I'm going to buy, And then I have bags, reusable bags. And I've been doing this for quite a long time now. And now we're going to extend it to another year.
Well,
There's
again,
so many
that wouldn't,
there's so many opportunities to get these reusable bags. Michelle Blair just did an absolute fabulous job with the SNAP program for our seniors from Selborne House, and getting them to come to the farmers market and being able to use their SNAP benefits at the farmers market. And you know what's at the farmers market? A big pile of reusable bags that Michelle would hand out. I tell, if the woman who spoke at our last meeting was saying about the 5 and 10 cents or whatever she has to do for the SNAP, things like that, I would tell her, ma'am, you have to get transportation to the food stores. Come up to City Hall or go down to the farmers market or come see me. I will give you enough bags that you will have them. The system has been in place for quite a long time now. And just to extend this, I wouldn't agree with it. And I would vote no on any extension as far as with the SNAP and the WIC programs.
Any other comments from the council?
Mr. President, I have a couple comments.
Sure.
I spoke to everyone earlier and sent out a short email individually to everyone of some proposed language to add to ordinance number 2008. I was reviewing both what Prince George's County and Anne Arundel County just passed. And at our last council meeting, we discussed the potential to add signage to each of our stores so that everyone would be aware that there would be a fee. I would like to add that into 2008 just so that we could give the stores a sample of this is what you need to put on your store entrance so that people are aware of the fee. It would also keep us consistent with the county. I would also ask that maybe we change our effective date to January 1st, the same as the county. I don't know what the administration's thought is on that, but it would keep it consistent for everyone.
All right. Councilman Mitchell, you have anything to add?
Nothing really personally. I did review the Sierra Club letter. The Sierra Club letter, of course, as we had talked about earlier, is a little bit different from the other environmental organizations that was asking for the exemption. But yes, I mean, my vote would still be towards the exemption for the SNAP and WIC. So that's kind of which way I was leaning, and I'm definitely open to the conversation about the year exception. But one of the things that I wanted to bring into the conversation was thereafter the year, decreasing the fee amount for those who still receive SNAP and WIC.
Mr. President, you're on mute.
Thank you, Councilman Cole. So I've taken down those into consideration. I'm sure our clerk has, and we'll get back with the administration. But I'm gonna move this item to the agenda for July 10th. With the exception of the amendment for the signage and the added amendment that is being requested and by myself, Councilman Sidnor, and signed on Councilman Mitchell for an extension for those programs for a year. And also take into consideration Councilman Cole's comment on starting January 1st. I do think maybe it would be great to move in sync with the county. Some things to consider. So I will move this to.
Mr. President, if I might.
Sure.
Administration, I would concur with Councilman DeWalt's comments. Trying to put this out a year is very confusing to the general public. we are trying to educate people and make sure that they are bringing bags. We would not support that type of an extension for a year. As I said earlier, we concur with what we came up with. We listened to all the council members. We provided an update copy to you all. And again, I think part of this is going to be the educational piece, as we said, and adding doing these types of year-long hold-offs is counterproductive to what we're trying to do. The other issue with this is, we feel we can get it in place by October, which again helps us and educate the public and sooner, so that our bill is a little bit different right now from the counties. But there is an issue with trying to put this waiver into place. I'll answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna request that we still have the amendments that Councilman Cole put forth for the council. I'm in agreement with it, and I already spoke with Councilman Sirdon, so I know where he stands. And Councilman Mitchell seems to be in agreement with that, so we'll be looking for that. And
Mr. President, my point to you is, I'm not going to accept that. And that's a problem. So we either need to figure it out, you're doing a waiver or you're not. But this, putting this into the legislation would be a real concern, and we would not, I would not support it.
I personally would hate to put this on another work session. So, I mean, it's.
So would I.
We're gonna have to meet.
I said this,
The legislative body and the majority of us have spoken and said what we're looking for. And that's the way we're leaning. Whether you guys would like to work with that or not is another question.
If somebody could provide us with whatever your amendment is,
Sure.
we'll work on it from our end.
I will do. Thank you. So I'd still like to put that on the agenda with the amendment. And if not, if you guys will not like to see that there at our next meeting, we can speak now and I will put it on hold, but I wouldn't like to. So this agenda item will be at the July 10th, 2023 Mayor and City Council meeting. That'll be held at 6 p.m. All right, and our next agenda item is number 3, an ordinance number 2014, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland to repeal and replace Laurel City Code, Chapter 17, Traffic, and providing for an effective date. Chief Hamel, you have the floor.
Thank you and good evening, President Smith, Mayor Moe, and the City Council members in the meeting with us tonight. Before you is ordinance number 2014, as required by the City of Laurel Code providing legislation to amend Laurel City Code Chapter 17 titled Traffic by repealing and replacing the current Chapter 17. This is designed to update the city's traffic code to specifically address traffic and parking concerns more effectively and to update language and provisions within the current code. This action is a result of a study of the code conducted by the Department of Public Works, the Department of the Fire Marshal and Permit Services, and the Police Department working in conjunction together towards this common goal. This action will update traffic and parking regulations for the City of Laurel and allow for more effective traffic regulation and parking enforcement throughout the city, thereby enhancing the overall safety of our entire community and visitors to the community. Some of the proposed additions and edits include, and this is not all inclusive, I'm just touching on a few of the highlights, that this provides that for the safety or control of vehicular and pedestrian traffic or parking areas, there's authority to erect traffic control devices and parking restrictions as may be necessary to provide for the public safety. It also provides for the implementation and use of automated enforcement technology as well as traffic and speed calming devices within the city in order to continue to provide for the safety and welfare of the public. It provides that certain trained individuals, employees of the city, other than law enforcement officers, may function as designated parking enforcement officials upon meeting certain requirements. Provides for addressing electric drive vehicle charging space concerns via enforcement provisions. In closing, the entirety of Chapter 17 as updated herein is to help provide for enhanced public safety throughout our entire city. Thank you for the time before you this evening, and I'm available for any questions you may have.
Are there any questions or comments from the council? Okay, well, the introduction and first public hearing on this item will be at the July 10th, 2023, 6 p.m. All right, next agenda. Thank you, Chief Hamel. Next agenda item is number 4. It's 6-2023, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland to establish the City of Laurel No-Kill Community Animal Shelter Citizens Advisory Committee. Mayor Mo, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think we talked about this. You've actually seen a draft and some provided some information back for this resolution. And then actually the city solicitor took a look at it, made a couple changes, and that was sent out to you this afternoon. But this will establish the Citizens Advisory Committee for the No-Kill Animal Shelter. They're the one, in my view, that will really start a lot of the work and the process of how this shelter would be run. You know, it might entail them getting involved with or making recommendations on where they might find some property, those types of things. So they're the ones that are going to be doing the real work as we move forward with finding property and establishing the no-kill animal shelter. I'll answer any questions you all may have, Mr. President. Thank you.
All right. Are there any questions from the council, or are you all in agreement with this?
Mr. President, I'd like to move forward with this. I thought we were close to this a couple months ago, and I want to get this done as soon as possible.
All right, well, the introduction and first public hearing on this item will be at the July 10th, 2023 meeting, 6 p.m. All right, and the next agenda item is agenda item number 5, resolution number 7-2023, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland, to pay tribute to the Honorable Joseph R. Robinson by renaming the Laurel Municipal Center as the Joseph R. Robinson Laurel Municipal Center. Mayor Mo, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. As you know, the council put into place a renaming of streets and buildings and other facilities. This is the first one that we received. We received 2 nominations for former Mayor Joe Robinson. I think all of the information was forwarded to you that met the requirements of the policy on renaming that was put into place. A lot of information. Our first one, I didn't receive anything back from anybody, so I don't believe there was any questions, but I think it's a well-deserved honor, and I'll answer any questions that anybody may have. Thank you, Mr. President.
I don't have any questions myself, but I will say it is an honor, and I'm looking forward to seeing it done. Are there any questions or comments from the council before we move forward? All right. Well, the introduction and first public hearing on this item will be at the July 10th, 2023 meeting at 6 p.m. Next agenda item is agenda item number 6, is bid recommendation for resurfacing of outdoor tennis and basketball courts. Department of Recs, Director Bailey, have the floor.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, Mayor, and City Council. The Department of Parks and Recreation is requesting approval to repair and resurface the outdoor tennis courts and basketball courts at the following locations: Alice B. McCullough Field, Greenview Drive Tennis Courts, Mulberry Street Tennis Courts, Donahoe Nye Park. When completed, this will total 11 tennis courts and 1.5 basketball courts. All the outdoor courts are showing wear and tear and are in need of repair and resurfacing. All courts will receive crack filler, top coating, surface coloring, and new lines. The Greenview Drive tennis courts and Mulberry Street tennis courts will require asphalt work due to their deep fractures and tree root issues. The Department of Parks and Recreation solicited several bids to repair and resurface the outdoor courts, and the 3 quotes were as follows. GoMark Sports, they came in at $600,298. Asphalt Star was for $567,175, and Keystone Sports Construction came in at $354,927.37. Funding for this expenditure is provided for in the adopted FY 23 CIP, Major Facility Maintenance Project. And it is recommended that the City of Laurel accept the bid of $354,927.37 from Keystone Sports Construction out of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, with a 15% contingency of $53,239.10 for a total project cost of $408,166,047. Keystone is also a member of Sourcewell Contract. Contract number is 060518-AST. I'm available for any questions.
I will start myself. I know you guys do a great job, and I'm not even necessarily questioning that. Just wanted to know the difference in services for the pricing. Is it all the same thing, or are we missing like one or something small from the other that's not really needed for the project?
No, I mean, all bidders were given the same information. This is what they came back with for it. As I said, Keystone is a member of Sourcewell Contracting, so with that, they usually have the better pricing because they're a consortium.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from the council?
I have one, Mr.
Sure,
President.
Councilman.
Director, I know they're part of the consortium through Sourcewell. Have we used Keystone Sports Construction before?
We have not, but they've got a very good background in other places. They've done colleges, they've done pro sports complexes, so they've got a very good reputation.
Okay, just curious, since they're about $200,000 to $250,000 less than the other bidders.
Right.
Thank you.
I have
Are there
one
any-
question for the director.
Sure,
Mr. Bailey.
Councilman.
Hey, the second bidder, who was that and where are they located at?
So Asphalt Star, they were for $567,175. They're out of Millersville, Maryland. And the first one was Go Mark Sports. They're out of Kensington, Maryland at $600,298.
And what do you mean by this Keystone Sports Construction? What do you mean by the benefits of not just the pricing? And I could see that if they do a lot of sports complexes and stuff like that, that's I would imagine that's an advantage too. But what else did you say is good about them?
Well, if you look at their track record, if you will, if you just we've talked to them, and if you look at their website, you can see that they've maintained a lot of colleges, pro sports complexes, as well as just your everyday athletic park. So they've got good experience, good background. We've had no problem with them, or I'm sorry, we expect to have no problem with them. The other two, they've done the same kind of work. Again, they're several $100,000 cheaper than everybody else. We've compared apples to apples. Everything's the same, so we don't have any reasons to doubt their work or quality of work.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Director Bailey. This item will be on the agenda for the July 10th, 2023 Mayor and City Council meeting that will be held at 6 p.m. Thank you. Next agenda item is number 7, is the bid recommendation LA-23-07 Laurel Avenue Street Improvement Project. Department of Public Works, Director Lee, you have the floor.
Thank you, President Smith, Mayor Moore, and council members. The Department of Public Works is requesting approval for construction project LA 23-07 Laurel Avenue Street Improvements. This project includes the construction and repair of concrete sidewalk, pedestrian ramps, concrete curbing, asphalt repair work, and road resurfacing on Laurel Avenue from 1st Street westerly to 5th Street, and then resuming at 6th Street and Laurel Avenue to 8th Street and Laurel Avenue for its entire length. At a sealed bid opening at 10 a.m. June 20th, 2023, the city received a total of 12 bids for the contract. The bids received, I have listed from low to high. I will not go through all of them unless requested, but we are picking the lowest bidder. Funding for this project is provided in the adopted FY 2024 CIP Laurel Avenue Street Improvement Project. It is recommended that the contract be awarded to Stanley Concrete LLC, a certified disadvantaged business enterprise, minority business enterprise, small business enterprise out of Annapolis Junction, Maryland, for their bid of $174,836 with an additional $25,164 as a contingency for a total of $200,000. Stanley Concrete has previously completed projects for the city. And I'm available if you all have any more additional questions.
Are there any questions or comments from the council before we move forward?
I have a question.
Councilman DeWalt?
Mr. Lee, is there anything in the this contract where once you get up to Laurel Avenue and 7th Street, there's no crosswalks, marked crosswalks other than 198 and 7th and Montgomery Street and 7th. Is there any, with this construction, would it be feasible to get a marked crosswalk and possibly even a elevated hump style crosswalk at the intersection of 7th Street and Laurel Avenue, not only to aid in the children who go from Laurel Elementary School up to the library, and also to slow down some of that traffic in that 300 block of Laurel Avenue that I've been getting a lot of complaints about.
Thank you, Councilmember DeWalt. We will take that under consideration. That was not discussed as a part of this bid process, but we will look at what we can do as we're redoing it. As you've heard from Director Belly, when the bid processes are closed, everyone answers the exact same questions and exact same process. So my anticipation is we would probably have to do that as a separate project, but it may not be that costly. We'll undertake the study and look at it, and I'll get back to you on what we find.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other comments or questions from the council? All right, well, this item will be on the agenda for July 10th, 2023 Mayor and City Council meeting. That will be held at 6 p.m. Thank you, Director Lee. All right, agenda item number 8 is the bid recommendation LA 23-08 Compton Avenue Street Improvement Project. Director Lee, you have the floor again.
Thank you again, President Smith. The Department of Public Works is requesting approval for the construction project LA 23-08 Compton Avenue Street Improvements. This project includes the construction and repair of concrete sidewalks, pedestrian ramps, concrete curbing, asphalt repair and resurfacing, and stormwater drain location assessments on Compton Avenue from 7th Street to Washington Boulevard, US 1, for its entire length. Bid results: at a sealed bidding opening at 10 a.m. June 28, 2023, the city received a total of 14 bids for this particular contract. The bids received from low to high are listed in the memo. I will not go through them all unless specifically asked by you to do so. Funding for this project is provided in the adopted FY 2024 CIP Compton Avenue Street Improvement Project. Again, this project we're recommending be awarded to Stanley, which was the lowest bidder, Stanley Concrete, a certified disadvantaged business, minority business enterprise, small business enterprise out of Annapolis Junction, Maryland, for their bid of $122,692.99 with an additional $25,000 as a contingency for a total of $147,692.99. Stanley Concrete, as I said previously, has completed other projects in the city, and I'm available if you have any more questions on this project.
All right, any questions or comments from the council before we move forward?
Mr. President, I have one.
Sure, Councilman Cole.
Director, I guess this applies to both bids, but I assume that when we're doing all these, the crosswalks will be ADA compliant, similar to the other projects that have been done in town with maybe the raised red bump things.
Yes, they all will be ADA compliant and revised to the most current ADA rules, which were revised in 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Are there any more comments or questions? All right, well, this agenda item will be moved to the July 10th, 2023 Mayor and City Council meeting that will be held at 6 p.m. All right. Agenda item number 9 is Fleet Acquisition 2024 Freightliner 10-ton dump truck. Department of Public Works, Director Lee, you have the floor again.
Thank you again. The Department of Public Works is requesting approval for the purchase of a heavy-duty dump truck to replace fleet that has exceeded its lifespan. This truck will enhance road work and snow operations and is equipped with a non-corrosive aluminum bed, heavy plow, and pre-wetting system for winter brine application. The department solicited several quotes, including from vendors on state and county contracts. The accepted quote is for $247,490 from Johnson Truck Center of Landover, Maryland, who is a vendor on the Sourcewell contract number 060920-NAF. Based on the fleet schedule, the following equipment will be replaced with the new acquisition. That would be vehicle number 34, which is a 2013 dump truck. Funding for this vehicle is provided for in the adopted FY 2024 CIP Fleet Replacement Project. It is recommended that the purchase of this 10-ton dump truck be approved for a total cost of $247,490 to Johnson Truck Center of Landover, Maryland. Thank you, and if you have any questions, I am available.
Are there any questions or comments from the council? All right, if there is none, this item will be moved to the agenda for the July 10th, 2023 Mayor and City Council meeting at 6 p.m.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Director Lee. Agenda item number 10 is Fleet Acquisition T76 Bobcat track loader. And Director Lee, you have the floor again.
Thank you. The Department of Public Works is requesting approval for the purchase of one Bobcat track loader to replace the equipment that's exceeded its lifespan. The department solicited several quotes, including vendors on the state and county contracts. The accepted quote is from Metro Bobcat of White Marsh, Maryland, who has the Sourcewell contract 040319-CEC in the amount of $79,750.64. Based on the fleet replacement schedule, this will replace vehicle number 77, which is also a 2013 vehicle. Funding for this vehicle is provided for in the adopted 2024 CIP Fleet Replacement. The total cost is $79,750.64. It is recommended that the purchase of this equipment be approved to Metro Bobcat of White Marsh, Maryland. Thank you.
Any questions or comments from the council? All right, well, this item will also be moved to the agenda for the July 10th, 2023 Mayor and City Council meeting at 6 p.m. Agenda item number 11 is Fleet Acquisition John Deere Utility Tractor. Director Lee, you have the floor again.
Thank you. The Department of Public Works is requesting approval to purchase a John Deere utility tractor to be used by the Department of Parks and Recreation. This tractor will replace a 2004 tractor, which has long exceeded its lifespan and is scheduled to be surveyed out. The department solicited several quotes from vendors in state and county contracts. The accepted quote is from Finch Turf Incorporated of Eldersburg, Maryland, which is through the Prince George's County contract LK0-402-20-001 in the amount of $109,736.98. Funding is available through the FY 2024 CIP. It is recommended that this purchase request be approved for a total cost of $109,736.98 to Finch Turf Incorporated of Eldersburg, Maryland. And I'd like to add, every now and then I get asked about the contract writing. The prices you see is because we are allowed to capture some of the prices that are given to much larger contracts, and we're allowed to get in and get our pieces of equipment that way. So this is a very efficient way of doing it. Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments from the council? All right. Well, this item will also be added to the July 10th, 2023 Mayor and City Council meeting that will be held at 6 p.m. Thank you, Director Lee. Agenda item number 12 is possible adjournment to closed session to discuss the Information Technology Director's assessment of network cybersecurity. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to closed session I also need a second before I ask Ms. Green to call the roll for the vote. And just a reminder not to leave the Zoom call until I have read the statement for the going into the closed session into the record, which I'll do after Madam Clerk calls the roll for the motion. And can I get a motion?
Mr. President, so move.
And can I get a second?
I'll second it.
All right, Madam Clerk, please call the vote. Well, Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Looks like her audio is not working.
Mr. President, why don't you call the vote for her?
All right. Councilman Cole,
Yes.
Councilman DeWalt,
Yes.
Councilman Mitchell,
I'm not sure he's still with us. He's been frozen for a while.
it's frozen. Oh, I'll call myself Council President Smith. Yes. So I will read the statement into the record, then we can go on. The following
Mr.
statement is made. Sure, Mr.
If I
Mayor.
might, we would need Mr. Cornwell Shield, our attorney, our city administrator and deputy attorney in that as well for the record.
All right,
Thank you.
and no problem. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The following statement is made regarding the adjournment of the mayor and city council closed session on this date. This meeting will be closed under General Provisions Act only. We expect to discuss the Information Technology Director's assessment of network cybersecurity. We are closing the meeting to discuss this topic because public discussion of any vulnerabilities and next steps would constitute a risk to security assessments or deployments relating to information resources, technology, and deployments or implementation of security personnel, critical infrastructure, or security devices. Now, if all those who receive the Teams meeting invitation can leave the meeting and go into the Teams meeting for a closed session, we will resume the Zoom regular meeting session as soon as the closed meeting is adjourned. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Agenda item number 13 is bid recommendation for cybersecurity. Director Cornwall Shield, you have the floor.
Had to find my camera button again. Thank you, Council President Smith, council members, and Mayor Mo. The Department of Information Technology has engaged the SHI International Corporation to manage sole source procurement of a cybersecurity product under the Sourcewell Technology Catalog Solutions Contract 081419-SHI. That is a sole source procurement vehicle. And the total 3-year cost of this agreement is $214,490.11. Funding for this 29-month agreement is included in the FY 2024 IT General Operating Budget adopted by this council. And further years of this agreement will be obligated under the IT General Operating Budget for years FY 2025 and FY 2026. It is the recommendation of my department to for the council to approve this 29-month Darktrace subscription with SHI for the Sourcewell contract price of $214,490.11. And I'm available for any questions.
And any comments or questions before we move forward? All right, well, this item will be on the agenda for July 10th, 2023, Mayor and City Council meeting at 6 p.m. Next agenda item is agenda item number 14, bid recommendation, in-car camera system. And Director Cornwall Shield, you have the floor again.
Thank you, Council President Smith, council members, and Mayor Mo. As part of the continued technology uplift of police vehicles, we will continue our transition to the Axon Fleet camera system over the coming years. The current proposal is an upgrade of all of our existing Axon Fleet 2 equipped vehicles to the Axon Fleet 3 camera systems, as well as the installation of new Axon Fleet 3 systems in all of the police vehicles scheduled to be delivered in this year. This will include, so far, a plan to install all of these new camera systems in the next, within the calendar year. And it will include equipment, installation services, maintenance support, as well as licensing for unlimited video storage and retention for each of these cameras. There are a number of features that the Fleet 3 system adds, in addition to just being supported for longer than the Fleet 2 system. Those include allowing command staff, supervisors, and dispatch to get live streams from the vehicles, so you can see what's going on at the time of whatever camera activation. It also includes location tracking and a number of other features that improve redundancy and security of that data. The cloud evidence storage also includes critical chain of custody audit reporting, as well as simple video redaction, export, and sharing mechanisms for the proper and secure evidence handling, transfer, and retrieval of in-car video and body cam video. This is a 5-year contract. Funding is provided in the adopted FY 2024 CIP IT project for IT police technology. The total cost of the project is $370,551.25. The vendor is Axon Enterprises Incorporated of Scottsdale, Arizona, and the purchase will be made using the Sourcewell contract 010720-AXN. It is notable that this contract does supersede our existing maintenance contract, which is costing approximately $50,000 a year. Because it is adding additional cameras, it does increase that cost to approximately $77,000 a year. Sorry, $74,000 a year. It is the recommendation of my department that the council award a 5-year Axon Fleet 3 contract to Axon Enterprises for the Sourcewell contract price of $370,551.25. And I'm available for any questions that you may have.
Well, are there any questions or comments from the council on this item? All right, well, this item will be on the agenda for the July 10th, 2023 Mayor and City Council meeting at 6 p.m. The next agenda item is agenda item number 15, and we'll have a briefing regarding the FY 2023 budget. Director Saylor, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. We appreciate your granting the request to have a work session before the meeting on Monday. And this will be to present to you what is planned to be the last amendment to the FY 2023 operating budget and CIP. As of June 30, as you're aware, the fiscal year ends. However, the work continues. There's still bills to be paid. There's still money that comes in from other agencies over the course of the next 60 days. And with the council break in August, which is great, but I can't wait until September to do the amendment. I need to do it now as we prepare for the audit. And like I said, to finalize all of our records. So again, we appreciate that, and we'll be coming to you with that. The plan is for by close of business Friday, this Friday the 7th, that I would get that over to you and present it to you, discuss it at the special work session on Monday. And that's all I have at this time, sir.
Well, thank you so much, Director Saylor, for the update, and continue the great work, and we're thankful to have you. Well, there be no further business to come before the Mayor and City Council. This meeting's adjourned.